him, because I think Jim just wants to win for him.
Yeah, no, he's doing it for me here.
Okay,
he knows.
Gotcha. Well, this game number 2, it looks like a pretty complicated board. So you see the life totals here, 10 for Jim Davis, 18 for Eric Hymel. For Davis, on his side of the battlefield, a Canopy Vista and a couple of basics here, an island of plains and a forest. He's also got a Reflector Mage, a Sylvan Advocate, and a Den Protector. For Eric Hymel, it's a Gideon that's sideways, which leads me to believe it attack. A Hedron Crawler, along with 4 lands, 5 mana in a white deck. I probably can't do anything with that. And then a Thought-Knot Seer. So, doesn't seem like a great situation for Jim. And it looks like actually Gideon is attacking right now. So.
Oh, and yeah, with 5 mana up, the Nightmare situation, you have to block some things, but you can't block some things. You have to attack some things, but you can't attack some things.
No, you can't. It's not a great spot.
And for all we know, Eric doesn't even have Archangel of Avacyn in his hand.
Yeah, he might be without it.
But the threat of it alone is enough to warp the way that Jim plays.
Yes, it is. That's why it's such a Magic card. It is a real doozy. Well, looks like Jim's going to try to go after that Gideon now with this attack. Hi. Hello.
Jim has the answer.
Well, fortunately for him, he does have Ojutai Command. That will counter that.
And the question is, what does he want to do with the other half of the card?
I think he's got to go counter gain.
Well, getting back a creature is very similar to gaining the life here.
Okay, all right. There's a Plains.
You know, there are situations where it's worse to do that. If the opponent plays something like Tragic Arrogance.
Very true.
You know, you would have rather just had the 4 life. But in general, I think the versatility to do what you want with the creature, it's a potential double blocker until Declaration Stone comes down.
And now Anguish Unmaking comes down. And now Jim's going to concede the game because he can't win anymore, as Eric Hymel is going to win game number 2 over Jim Davis. White-Black Eldrazi, Bant Company, getting ready here for game number 3. So we'll take a look at the sideboards here for both players. We'll get an idea of what they're working with as we're jumping into this mid-match here. Jim Davis will be on the play for game 3. You see a Tireless Tracker, a Den Protector, a Hidden Dragon Slayer, 2 Lantern Scouts, 2 Declaration of Stone, 2 Invocation of St. Traff, no Ojutai Command, 2 Clip Wings, and then 3 Negates, Craig.
It's interesting. He probably wants cards like Clip Wings when he has his opponent's deck list, and he's looking at 4 Archangel Avacyns on the other side of the board. We saw the Ojutai Command. He has 1 main deck and 1 in the sideboard. I would guess that the second one has come in out of his sideboard. The Negates seem very good when the opponent's casting so many expensive, powerful cards.
For Eric, the 3 Tragic Arrogance that we've seen so many times from him this week and have been very effective, along with 3 Duresses, 2 Read the Bones, 2 Virulent Plagues, 2 Reality Smashers, and some singletons here, an Isley Eternal Pilgrim, Gideon Ally of Zendikar, and an Anguished Unmaking.
Yeah, I would think Jim would have to go kind of wide to beat some of these powerful creatures out of Eric's deck. So a card like Tragic Arrogance is probably going to come in. The Isley Eternal Pilgrim is good if Jim gets super aggressive. It's just always a great body to have on the board. And the Anguished Unmaking being a versatile removal spell at instant speed, it's great at combating opposing Avacyns.
Well, those are the options there for both players. So they'll be underway here for game number 3 as Kellen Pastor waits patiently to see who he can try to kill next very quickly with his Mono White Humans deck. In the meantime, however, we are going to talk about StarCityGames.com Game Night, the very popular promotion. And every week in April, the Slobbering Mile Driver is available. Not a lot of time left to get it, unfortunately. So find your local game night so you can get access to these tokens and pins. For May, we've got Manatary Mentor tokens and pins. And, of course, for June, it is Otter Spell, which, as we have explained many times, is a play on...
It's Godfather Lightning Bolt.
Correct.
You can see him casting multiple lightning bolts out of his fingertips here.
It is absolutely not Counterspell. It is
Lightning Bolt.
A Lightning Bolt.
Lightning
Got
Bolt,
it.
yes.
Perfect. Go.StarCityGames.com/game night for more information. Find your local game night or get signed up today, as we'll have more awesome stuff coming down the pipeline for July, August, so on and so forth. As game number 3 about to be underway here between Jim Davis and Eric Hymel. Jim Davis, we've seen in the feature match area quite a few times here this weekend. It makes quite a bit of sense. His winning ways are back for the 2015 Players Champion. He's 31 years old from Long Island, New York, with 9 open top 8s. We got to change that to 10 now. He's in double-digit territory with 1 open win, looking for a second, 2 invitational top 8s, and, of course, the 2015 Players Champion.
It's a big trophy.
It's not a small trophy, but you can't drink out of it.
Oh, it's not a cup.
No, you cannot drink out of it. It's a trophy, not a cup. That's important.
Now, even if it were a cup, would you advise drinking out of it?
No, I would not. I think you should not drink things out of your cup or trophy. Just let it be beautiful. Don't put any liquids in there. That's all. It's easy.
I believe one of the Grand Prix trophies that was actually a cup went to a celebratory dinner.
Okay.
And when the owner of this got up to use the restroom,
This does not sound good.
he came back to a trophy filled with sour cream.
Not even ice cream?
Sour cream.
Sour cream?
I believe this happened to Antonino De Rosa.
I feel like you're not guessing. I feel like you may have been the culprit of this.
I am not always the mastermind of these types of shenanigans.
Maybe, just perhaps, it was sour cream. Just maybe. I feel like it certainly 100% was sour cream now. Just going to put that out there. Just my best guess.
A little surprise for the champ, waiting for him when he got back to his seat.
Hey, congratulations on winning.
Yep.
Job well done. Here's some sour cream.
Can we get some chips to go with that?
No, we cannot. Well, it's been a fun weekend to watch so far here from Baltimore. Do keep in mind that next weekend, the SCG Tour has its first invitational in 2016. We'll be in Baltimore. Or excuse me, we'll be in Columbus for that tournament. We're in Baltimore right now. We'll be in Columbus for that tournament. You'll be playing.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be in the booth, joined by Patrick Sullivan, Matthias Hunt, and Ryan Overturf next weekend. We are looking forward to bringing you 3 days worth of coverage and sending someone out of there with, let's see, $10,000. Let's see, what else are we going to give them? A big trophy, and their likeness on a card, and an invite to the Pro Tour, and a qualification to the Players' Championship.
So nothing's on the line.
So not a lot to play for in Columbus. That's probably going to be a low attendance.
And it's going to be the culmination of the Season 1 points race.
That as well. So 3 more players will qualify for the Players' Championship. 4 total at the conclusion of the weekend. It's going to be a blast. We hope we see you there. And if not, we hope you find time to watch.
So just your average casual tournament.
Yeah, no big deal.
Basically an F&M.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly that. Jim Davis looks like he wants to keep. I lied.
Tricked ya.
Bad read. Little rusty.
And this is why we are not professional poker players.
That's correct. That's why I stay here in the booth. Looks like Eric is going to keep his opening hand.
And it looked like Eric went back to the sideboard for a late switch there. I hope he hasn't overthought himself.
Yeah, there's definitely some changes that did take place. Both players certainly looking over things, as this is the final game between the two of them.
It's possible he was thinking about a card like Knight of the White Orchid, which doesn't necessarily line up well against very many of Jim's creatures.
Yeah.
But he is on the play, so getting the extra land is a pretty big benefit.
Yeah, is the benefit, how big is the benefit when the 2/2 really can't block any stuff?
Yeah,
You know?
Yep, that's the consideration.
Looks like Jim's going to keep. Let's do this. They're good to rock and roll. It's a Lumbering Falls, and we go back over to Eric Hymel, who's got a Battlefield Forge, and he'll simply pass the turn back over to Davis. Jim picked up a copy of Duskwatch Recruiter.
That was a good one.
Not a bad one, that's for sure. And of course, Eric to have something here.
Yeah, it's especially good if the opponent doesn't have a play.
Well, Eric does have a play in Eiley Eternal Pilgrim. For Davis, he'll draw a card. So does Davis have a third land? Yes. Doesn't enter the battlefield untapped? I think the answer is no. This is actually one of the first times we've seen him have mana issues with this deck.
Yep, he did mulligan, so he's a little bit less to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't work out perfect every single time.
So he'll just transform his werewolf and pass the turn back over to Eric. Eric will play a Forsaken Sanctuary. We'll see if Eiley has any interest in attacking here. There's a Declaration in Stone, so I think the answer is yes now. Though, Jim can just cash that clue right in.
Yeah, it's interesting. Eric had the option of attacking with Eiley first and seeing if Jim was willing to just trade with it. And it might have been better to offer up that trade and save the Declaration in Stone for later, especially when Jim just has 2 unused mana ready to cash in the clue right away.
Land number 4 here from Jim. Sucks that he has nothing to do. He'll just pass.
So tough sometimes. Nothing on 4, nothing on 5.
Yep. There's an Eldrazi Displacer. It looks like that will resolve. No, Davis does have the option here with Ojutai's command.
Mm-hmm. But once again, we see the power of Declaration in Stone. Removing the creatures from the game so they're not in the graveyard to be rebought with the Ojutai's command.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see Eric's hand very well. There are a lot of checklist cards in his
Yes.
hand. Which, well, I think we know what that means. Quite a few Avacins over there. Davis will draw a card. Lumbering Falls is what he's found. So unless Eric doesn't draw another land for the rest of the game, we're going to see Avacyn here soon. And Eric's draw was the 4th Avacyn.
Yeah, it looks like he's got 4 of those bad boys.
Here.
It's so powerful. How can you lose with 4 of them?
Yeah. Here comes Eiley. It'll deal 2. And now Davis will play Collected Company. Time to take a look at the top 6. See if he can find 2 creatures. No guarantee. We saw him miss earlier in the tournament.
I like his odds.
It looks like he's found 2. Bounding Crassus, Dusk Watch Recruiter. So those are on the battlefield now. There's an Anguished Unmaking. Eric will lose a little bit of life in the exchange. Now we head back Jim's way.
It's a little bit interesting that Eric did that right there. It makes some sense because whenever he hits his 5th land, it's going to be tied up casting Archangel of Avacyn's.
Mm-hmm.
But he could have waited a turn and seen if Jim played something else that he was more interested in exiling.
Both players going to make sure the life totals are correct here. Now they're ready to go. Jim will untap these 5 lands and take a draw here.
But there's something to be said for getting the creature while Jim is tapped out. You know that he's got negates in his sideboard, and he very well could have brought them in for this matchup.
Yeah. Prairie Stream looks to be on the way. And there that is. Here's an attack for 3. Eric will fall down to 12. And Davis is going to play a Reflector Mage. Eiley gone for good. Bounding Crassus right now in Jim's hand. He'll pass the turn back. Eric. Wait, oh boy. Tragic Arrogance now. Jeez.
Yeah, and Jim has kind of quietly built himself up to a rather menacing board state. The other Crassus is going to come down this turn. Even if Eric had a play this turn, the Crassus would tap it, and Jim could keep getting in for more damage. Even when Eric hits his 5th land and an Angel starts coming down, there's a hidden Dragon Slayer waiting for it.
Well, what's interesting about this is that Jim could actually just go for the win right now. 2 Bounding Crassus plus Reflector Mage is 8 damage.
Yep.
Lumbering Falls. Actually, I'm
11, just shy. Yep.
I'm 1 short. He can put Eric down to 1, but that's actually not bad here because Caves of Koilos and Battlefield Forge.
Yep.
Some pain lands there that can only tap for colorless, so maybe Jim's got some interest in that line of play.
Well, and he would still have 3 threats on the board and a 4th in the form of Lumbering Falls.
Yeah. Putting him down to 4 is not bad, but I like kind of putting him down to 1. Also, if you're Jim, you're probably wondering what the heck's going on in my opponent's hand, but you've also got access to the deck list, so you probably assume, okay, he's got like at least 1 5-drop, probably a 2nd.
Sure.
If he's got a spot removal spell, he has to cast one of them.
Yeah, even if he has a removal spell, this doesn't work out too bad for you.
Yeah. Eric's going to go down to 1. He'll draw a card. He found Caves of Koilos. That is not particularly helpful, however.
That's the way it works out in Magic sometimes, right? The whole game, you're just waiting for that 5th land,
Yep.
and the turn where it won't do anything for you shows up on top of your deck.
That's exactly what happened to Eric Hymel, and the #1 overall seed of this tournament is out as Jim Davis wins this match over Eric Hymel 2-1. Bat Company takes care of White-Black Eldrazi, and it'll be the 2015 Players Champion in the finals here, looking to dispatch this crazy mono-white humans deck.